I'm going to go right there.
I won. Yes.
I don't know how you managed to get another two-way, but I'm going to take a second win like that.
Okay, well.
That's how that works.
Oh, wait a minute. We've got a podcast episode to do. I forgot about that.
Oh, my bad. I'm
all
going to put the
right.
game
Yeah, I'm
away.
going to put the game away.
Watch
So
me.
this is a great podcast episode. I am very excited to do number 50. It's going to be a lighthearted, fun episode. We might have a special visitor. There's actually a visitor right behind you. His name is Butterscotch, but he's probably not going to say a whole lot, but he's more than welcome. But this is going to be, again, a fun, lighthearted episode. I think he's playing right into that. And so for those of you that are listening, you can't see the cuteness that is Butterscotch, but for those of you that are watching, you can see this. So
I love him.
Yeah. So we've got a lot of cool things that we're going to talk about today. But I think one thing we're going to start off with is, well, first of all, we need to make sure do our mics work. Check, 1, 2, 3. Mic check 1, 2, 3.
Check. Wait. Okay. I have one more thing that I need to check.
Think we're good.
Hold on. Where'd it go? Do you have my drink?
Oh.
You took my drink. Okay. Well, I'm just going to have to do what I normally do.
Have to do without it, right? Oh, that's that.
I like to sing in the microphone too.
That's your little quirky.
It is.
Your quirky way that
the mics are good.
get started. All right.
Mics
so
are good.
We've done our mic check. But that doesn't mean that this thing goes well for us, because we typically end up having lots of problems getting this podcast episode off the ground, and tech problems.
This is the third time that we're recording this one.
Tech is a 4-letter word to you, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is. This is the third time that we're recording this one.
Sometimes we have computer problems. Sometimes we have speaker problems.
Microphone
problems seem to be the worst. I don't know what that's all about.
Video problems.
Problems saving the episode after it's recorded. I mean, you name it.
Cat problems.
Cats. Yes, we've got a new little kitty.
Yes.
He's actually been put up for this episode because
he's on lockdown.
Tends to like to chew cords.
Yes.
And
I'm
just afraid he's going to get electrocuted.
He's a cat in training.
Yeah. So, but anyway, we're here. And I think we're good. I think we're settled.
Let's do this for the third time.
And when I say we're here, this is actually something a little bit new.
This is new.
We started our podcast Heather?
In our guest room closet. And so we would even say that we are coming to you live in downtown, beautiful, historical Midlothian, a.k.a.
Which is a suburb of Richmond.
Yes. A.k.a. our guest room closet.
Yes.
Which
was cramped. It was hot.
I mean, it is a walk-in closet. So it's not a cramped closet, but when you're in there with all of the podcasting equipment and a table and chairs and stools and
I will say it was very intimate. You know,
so intimate.
I had to make sure I used mouthwash while we were in there. Maybe I don't necessarily as much right now because there's a little bit more space between us. So, but this is a fantastic new place that we've got. We've renovated the basement.
Yes.
And we absolutely love it. And again, if you're watching on video, then you're getting a little bit of a taste for the new space that we're in.
And what I love is that, you know, where we started from was only audio, and we were recording in a closet. And now we're down here in a more, I think, engaging sort of place. It feels very homey, but it's also on video. And so we are officially moving our podcast to video.
Yes, we are. And so, but with that, what happens is that even though we're in a new location, we're doing video, we have something called crutch words that we still tend to use, right?
Yes.
We've been noticing this more and more as we've been doing more videos and kind of watching ourselves and realizing, wow, I say the same words over and over again.
I like to help you navigate.
Navigate.
Whatever the issue is, I'm going to help you navigate it.
Right.
You know, that's what I say.
I love to say we're super excited we're excited about this episode.
Super excited, yes.
I've got to get a thesaurus and come up with some new words.
That's a good idea.
So, yes.
I like to say, hey there.
Hey there. Yes.
Hey there.
Yeah.
Like,
sometimes I'll just say, hey.
I think that's my southern roots of hey. I don't even say, hi, how are you? I'm like, hey, how you doing? Like, whatever. How are you? Hey, whatever. So now on podcasting or on the video reels that we're doing, I say, hey there.
Yeah. Okay. And what I'll do a lot of times if I have some tips or strategies I want to suggest, I would use the word encourage. So I would encourage you to try this. I would encourage you to do that.
That's
I
so
would
heartfelt.
encourage you.
So encouraging.
Yes.
Thank you. I
Yes.
love it.
Yeah. And what happened, caught myself doing that in one episode, and I thought, what other word could I say instead of encourage? And I said implore. So I'm going to
Oh,
implore.
that's
That's got a
bougie.
little bit of a different feel. That's
I
a
love it.
little bit more of a push, I think,
I love it.
than the word encourage.
So I noticed
What else
that
do you?
as I feel like maybe I get on a little bit of a soapbox. I don't know. And I'm making my point and I don't know how to finish what it is that I'm trying to say. And so then I just say, so yeah.
Right.
What is that? What is that?
Yeah.
Why do I do that? I'm just like,
Hmm.
so yeah.
So
I'm
yeah.
like, this
Yeah.
could literally be a crutch word bingo game for our
Hmm.
podcast.
Oh, I
And
like
you
it.
could
Oh,
just write,
maybe we could have a
right.
free resource. I could create a worksheet with all the words on it and
Yes.
maybe include some stamps or maybe an ink pad. Of course, that would mean we would have to mail these things out. But
But
anyway,
I mean, just to have that little,
I like
bingo
it.
game that you're
Right.
playing as you're listening
Maybe we could do
along.
that. And then as
How many
people
times is
listen, yeah,
how many times is Heather going to help you navigate,
that's
or
right.
is Brian going to say we
Hmm.
have some helpful tips, or
Right.
another one that you like to say is, "Oh, we're going to talk about that in a minute."
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a minute.
Like,
It's like, why don't we just talk about
just
that
talk about it
now? Yeah.
now. It's a
Or I'll
great
say something
segue.
like, so when you think about
So
this,
about
it's like, well, of course we're thinking about it. We're talking about it. We're obviously thinking about it. There's really no
I think it's
point to
fun.
say that. So yeah, but
It's crutch words.
honestly, everybody has crutch
We
words.
do.
I've even listened to well-known radio celebrities and have kind of noticed that some of them tend to have these same types of words that they go to. But
Let's unpack that.
right,
I hear
yes,
that a lot. Let's
mm-hmm,
unpack that.
yeah,
I'm just gonna
it's a good one.
take these
Yeah,
out of the box.
yeah.
Yes, let's unpack
But
it.
while we
Good.
continue to beat
Yes.
ourselves up about the crutch words, why don't we? Do we have any other things that
Crutch
we
words? No, but I
beyond
mean, I
crutch
could beat
words?
myself up on some things, like especially hearing my voice being recorded. So I actually do go back and listen to what we talk about. Not because I'm full of myself. No, it's because I want to make sure that I'm doing the best that I can do. That I'm,
Mhm.
see, there I go. I'm losing my words again. I just want to make sure that I'm doing the best that I can. So I have listened to all of our podcast episodes, and I have a major issue with my voice
Mhm.
because to me, I sound like I've been smoking my entire life. I
Mm.
have this scratchy, like lower voice or whatever, so much so that even as a teenager, I would answer the phone and I would say hello. And like whoever's on the other side would be like, "Oh, hey Dave." And I'm like, no, this is his daughter, Heather."
Mhm.
Like, it just does not help the self-esteem of a
Yeah,
teenager.
I love that story, and you even have an even funnier story around your voice, don't you?
Well, I do.
Be willing to
I
share that one?
Yes. Okay. So in high school freshman, I am super shy, introverted, quiet, scared of everyone, especially the boys. Like I was just this timid little mouse. And the cutest boy in the choir, he came up to me before class started and he said, "Do you know the preamble to the Constitution?" And I'm like,
Mm.
"No."
He was a very inquisitive person, right? He really just wanted to learn, wanted to know, wanted to
Mm,
understand more about the history of our country. Is that what that was all about?
well, not exactly, because then he
Mm.
asked me if I knew the Pledge of Allegiance. And when I said yes, he said, "Would you recite it for me?" And I'm like,
Oh,
"Why?"
yeah.
He said, "Because I just want to hear your sexy voice."
Mm.
And I mean, you talk about the face going red and like, oh my gosh. That was
See, for me,
that
I
was
love that
crazy.
because that's what's unique about you. But a lot of times I think we do look at what's different about us and we think that's a
So flawed.
flaw or
It's
that's
flawed.
bad or that's negative. And
It-
we all do it to ourselves, of course.
It's time for you to beat
So,
yourself up, Brian.
okay. Well, one of the things now that we've gone to video that's really helped me is I don't eat the mic anymore. And before I used to be, right down here with everything that I said.
You did.
And now it's, I'm not doing that as much. So I've sort of been
That's good.
forced out of doing that,
Mm-hmm.
but I would do that a lot. And so, yeah, I'd probably get my slobber all over the microphone and,
A
we got to
Lysol, something.
clean that thing
His
up.
and her
Right.
microphones
You
for
always
that
have to
very
make sure
reason.
you've got your microphone. I keep my microphone because you don't want anything
I
to
don't
do
want
with
your
this thing.
cooties.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's it for me. got a little, I'm from the north, you're from the south, right? There's a little bit of kind of a twang that sometimes
Oh,
will,
yes. Okay, I was like not sure where you're going with that.
yeah.
And yeah, so yeah.
There it is.
Sorry, trying to get
Bingo.
my brain in
Bingo.
order, my crazy brain in order. Yes. So since um I guess since we moved down here, even when we were just doing audio,
You were down to the basement.
down to this basement room, like we're facing each other more. And
Hmm.
because we're facing each
Yeah.
other, I feel so comfortable with that. I feel like we're
Hmm.
just conversing with one
Yeah.
another
Right.
rather, I don't know, than trying to sound, I don't know what I was
Right.
trying to
Here's the
sound like
8
before.
tips for increasing your marital connection. All right, Heather, number 3,
I
yes.
mean, we still kind of
We
do
still
that,
do that,
but
but
the way that I talk is different because I feel like
mm,
early on it was like, I think maybe I sounded a little more straightforward and formal or something. And now because I'm looking at you, I feel very, very relaxed.
hmm,
And
yeah.
definitely feel like my little Southern drawl twang, Texas twang comes out a little bit more with
Uh-huh.
what I'm saying,
Right.
especially when I
And I
really
like
get
that.
going. When I get going on whatever I
Yeah.
have to say, it's like I just sound like
Yeah.
me, which is what I want. I'm not trying
Hmm.
to ever put on a front or
No.
be somebody that I'm
Right.
not. Like,
It's who
y'all,
you
this
are.
is me.
Yeah.
What you see is what you
Hmm.
get. Like,
Right.
professionalism isn't necessarily the name of the game for
Right.
me. I
Hmm.
don't know.
And this
But
is kind
yeah,
of a way we balance each other
I
out.
think
I'm from the
so.
north. I'm from Ohio. I'm a Yankee, I guess. Is that,
Something.
you're a southerner, you're you know,
A rebel.
a rebel. Thank you
That was
very
the name
much.
of my high school mascot. We
That's
were the
right.
Southwest Rebels.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's one way we balance each other out. And I guess that's probably a good thing to talk about now because uh, some of our differences or maybe our disagreements, can come into play when we're
Yeah.
getting ready for an episode or talking about things with Love How Deep,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah. We record something and you're just ready to go with it. You're like, this is good. Check the
it's good.
box.
It's
And Brian
fine.
says it's fine. And Heather
Yeah.
says, mm-mm, nope, cut,
Yeah.
not happening. And
Yeah.
Brian says, but it's fine. It's not going to matter. Nobody's going to care. And I'm like, it's still not the best we
Yeah.
could do. Like,
Yeah. And sometimes we can get a little tangled up with that, but most of the time we recognize that this is a good balance.
yes,
I think or I don't know who came up with it, but we talk about a car analogy
yes,
with how I am and how you are.
yes.
Again, I tend to want to
You got your foot on the,
gas pedal
I got my foot on the,
on the brake.
so
Yeah. And
that's it.
so,
Cars work with
yeah.
both. You have to have
Hmm.
both gas pedal and a
Right.
brake.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
that's what
And,
we do.
probably from your perspective, you can look at me and think I've got the gas pedal punched to the floor. And I don't think
Uh-huh.
so. I think, oh no, I'm just going the speed limit. And then I probably look at you and go, you've slammed on the brakes and I'm about coming through the front windshield and the
Mm-hmm.
airbags
Mm-hmm.
are going off, but you're saying, no, I'm just tapping them. I'm tapping
Just a
them.
little
So,
tap.
you know, but I think if we can look at each other like that and say, yes, maybe Brian, you're speeding a little bit and Heather, you're maybe tapping a little bit. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we don't really get that upset about it. It's a
Yeah.
good thing. It's actually I think a good way to go. And you've said it before, you can't really operate a vehicle if you don't have both of those things.
Yeah.
You're not going to go anywhere without a gas pedal. You're
You're gonna
gonna
wreck if you don't
you're
have a
gonna
brake.
wreck if you don't have a brake. Yeah, you're gonna hit something.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's probably a good difference that we have. I don't know.
I think so.
Is
That's
that
good.
good on that one?
I think so.
What's kind of the what are we talking about next?
I
Just
don't
kind of
know.
the weirdest things about
We have notes down
podcasting.
here on
Yeah.
the whiteboard in front of us.
Yeah.
So if you see our eyes shifting that way,
Yeah.
we're trying to figure out where we're going on this road map.
Yeah. I
So
guess we're at what
yeah.
the weirdest things when kind of prepping or
When we are prepping and
recording.
recording. Yeah, Brian, what's it like for you when you're getting all this stuff set
Oh
up and ready to
gosh,
go?
it's
Please
frustrating.
share.
Oh,
How
it's
frustrated do
frustrating.
you get?
Yes, very frustrated. I
Oh,
would say
just very.
the thermometer, the frustration thermometer starts to rise. The mercury is almost kind of
Mm-hmm.
hitting the top of the glass.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes I've noticed I will get short with you. You'll start to ask me questions or make comments and then I'll have to say something like, "Oh, I'm not upset with you. I'm just upset with what's going on." But really it's it's coming out toward you. And so that's not a good
I
thing.
mean, it is, and I'm over here because, I know nothing about technology and I don't care to. And so I just sit back and get on my phone and just start reading something and scrolling. And that is what I do to prepare that. And I go put on some lipstick and brush my hair.
Yeah.
But, um, uh, and I wish that I could help you. I do. Like, what can I do to help? But I don't know enough of any of it to.
Yeah. And you don't really care to know, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But, I will say this podcast and just the whole Love How Deep Marriage ministry that we have, it has been a test to our marriage. And I think we are passing. Now, do we get an A+ all the time? No, but I do think we do really well. And I think people on the outside would hopefully know that kind of what people are seeing and hearing is really what it's like behind the scenes for us.
That is accurate. That is accurate. Like literally what they see and what they hear, like, especially with what they see, this is who we are.
Right. Now, of course, there might be some disagreements and, maybe a little heat here and there, but, it mostly what people are seeing is what they're, what, yeah, So, yeah. Where are we going
We're
now?
gonna talk about next.
What are we going to
and
next?
I'm pointing to
So
the whiteboard.
we're talking about our marriage podcast. Are we kind of talking about, okay, if we didn't do the marriage podcast, maybe what would we do instead?
Yeah, what would you talk about, Brian, if it wasn't about marriage? What would you talk about?
So I thought about this one a lot, and it probably would be sports, but it might not be the sport that you would think it would be.
So it would be the Dallas Cowboys?
No,
or
that's
the
not
Bengals?
a sport. That's a team, but
Well,
okay.
okay, football. Dallas Cowboys.
Yes. No, probably not.
Is
Or
that
would
the
it be
reason we went
baseball?
blue back here?
Oh, it could be. Oh, I didn't think about that.
Y'all see how I manipulated that?
Yeah, she's pointing to our blue wall for those of you that are just listening. But,
seeing that. That's
well,
pretty.
we do have this on audio as well.
Okay, so
audio only. So
back on track.
Back on track. Yeah. So
Let's
I would probably, to stretch myself and do something a little different, I think I would do a podcast on pickleball because I've been interested in it. We played it a little bit before COVID happened. And then for some reason, when COVID happened, even though it's an outdoor sport and it was still being played, we just kind of got away from it. And so, yeah, I would love to do that. That's what I would do.
That's what you would talk about?
Yeah.
Oh, me? I would have some of my friends come and join me, my sister, and they could come and join me, and we would talk all things fashion, hair, makeup, shoes, all that good stuff. Yeah, shopping.
I like it. Okay.
That's what we would talk about.
Yeah. I know one co-host and one guest that you probably would not have on your podcast.
Who?
That would be me. Although,
because you have to have fashion.
The more I think about it, though,
I pick.
You could probably have a man's perspective on what, hey, what do you think this? How do you think I look in this? Or what do you think about this makeup? And, as a man, it's attractive. Or maybe, no, that's not attractive. No. No, it's going to be an all-girls club.
It's all-girls club. Yep.
Okay.
All-girls club.
But, I love doing this marriage podcast with you.
Oh my gosh, me too.
I did one a few years ago by myself, as you know, and I think one thing that I love about doing this one together, again, it's taught me a lot about patience. Again, going back to the gas pedal analogy, and probably for you, I don't want to speak for you, but I would imagine it's gotten you out of your comfort zone to maybe do some things, try some things. Yeah,
completely. This is not something that I ever envisioned that I would do, and here we sit.
That's right. Yeah. We are here. So
I love doing this with you too. Yeah. I love just sharing the things that we've learned through marriage, because of the things that we've learned from our previous marriages and how it applies to the new, like our marriage and being married almost 20 years and, sharing with other people, like some helpful tips, crutch word, some helpful tips and how to navigate some of those tricky situations. And like, I just love talking about that with you.
Yeah.
Because when we are planning for this or just preparing what we're going to say or a topic that we're going to talk about, it usually takes us down memory lane. And I love those trips down memory lane, and I think that it's just so good. And I always feel so close to you when we're done. I don't know.
Yep.
It's really cool. I love doing that with you.
Yep. This has been great. And I think we're going to end with some bloopers.
Yeah.
Right?
Blooper
we
time.
Want to keep in the fun, kind of lighthearted vein that we started this podcast with, but then that's how we're going to end. And unfortunately, Heather, all these bloopers we're about ready to show are you. It's not
I
because
am
I'm
perfectly
perfect.
imperfect.
Yes.
That's what I am,
Yeah.
perfectly imperfect,
Yeah.
and can laugh at myself. And when I mess up whatever it is that I'm trying to say, I'm gonna go and make some stupid noise laughing
Right.
at myself,
Right.
and then say, "Let's go start
Yes.
again, cut,
You
whatever."
make a lot of
I'm
funny noises, and these have cracked us up. I've watched them several times, and
uh,
I think the reason that I don't have any bloopers, I've kind of come to realize that if I start to mess up in my head, I just kind of go silent. I don't think it's like that. I don't want anybody to know that I'm not perfect or whatever, but it's just sort of this habit that I've gotten into. So I think I'm going to have to, you know, just kind of let some stuff out, and maybe it'll be therapeutic for me. So anyway,
to
hopefully in
not
the
have to be
future,
perfect all the time,
yes,
that would be very
yes,
therapeutic for
okay,
you, Brian. Do you
right.
know a good counselor?
I
Uh-huh.
think I do. Yes, it would be me, right?
Yeah, you should
Okay,
talk to
that's who you're.
yourself.
I should
Talk to
talk to
yourself about
myself.
that.
I like that. So we are going to
Yeah, where are we
end.
going with
I
this?
think we're so yeah. So I
So,
think we're
yeah,
done. So this has been a
we are.
great 50th episode. I love you and I appreciate you,
Oh,
and this has just been a gift
yeah,
from God. You and this whole ministry and the podcast and everything that we're
absolutely.
doing.
I love you
I
too.
just love it. And so,
It's
but
amazing.
now we're going to embarrass you and let
Yay.
everybody take a look at some of what Heather does when she gets off track.
And
So,
when y'all watch that, as you're doing that, we're just going to continue
yeah, let's go ahead and
this
play a
game
game.
of
Best two out of
tic-tac-toe.
three.
Yeah, 2 out of
Okay, it's
3.
tied 1-1. So, all right, let's give it a shot.
So we're
All
going to do
right.
this again.
All right. Take care until next time.
Hey, everybody. I just want to be on. I pray that out of his glorious riches, he may strengthen you with power through the Spirit in your inner being, so that Christ may dwell in your hearts through. Cut. Are we starting over completely? So what was I saying? Okay. Here we go. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. I want to just give you a little bit of backstory about the creation of Love How Deep. It's, for those of you who don't know, it's our marriage ministry for me and Brian. And that was bad. Are we hitting stop or are we just...
Yeah.
Hey everybody, I just wanted to take a minute to talk to you a little bit about the foundational verse for the Love How Deep marriage ministry. And it really started out of Hey everybody, just wanted to chat with you a little bit about Hey there. I hope y'all are having a great day, but